And our next guest, who achieved some pretty special things in her career, a couple of Grand Slam doubles crowns, 14 WTA titles, but this was the most unique thing she ever accomplished. A set against Sara Errani at Wimbledon that she won 24 points to 0. The golden set had never happened at a slam before, and we are very pleased on our jaw-dropper day to welcome Golden Slava Shvedova to Tennis Channel Live. It's great to see you. Before we start talking about the golden set, just tell us how you've been during this stoppage and how you've been passing the time.
I'm pretty well, and the only thing was that after Indian Wells was cancelled, I get back home, and I was for 2 weeks in quarantine in one place, so they didn't let me go home. But now I'm safe and at home, and we're already moving on with practices and managing my life. Home practice, kids, and everything.
Well, we all saw the post of you having to go into quarantine. How was that scary? I mean, how were you feeling? Not, maybe knowing or thinking you did not have the disease, the virus, but not being sure of what was going to happen. How were your emotions during that period?
It was a bit worrying because we were like one of the first flights to get closed up for the quarantine, and like waiting and not knowing anything, and persons around the doctors and nurses didn't know much, also didn't give us information. But after a few days, they got the results, and everything was, most of the people was negative, but I was still closed for quarantine because I was flying too close to the person who had it. So, but in the end, everything went fast and easy, and I was back home to my family.
Well, this time has given a lot of us moments to go back down memory lane. And of course, talking about the golden set that you had, not at a small event, at Wimbledon. Did you know during that match just what was happening? Did you realize you hadn't lost a point? Did it start to come into play?
No, because I was so into the zone and focused. I was just playing and playing and playing, and I was not even thinking about it. I was just going point after point. Also, like, I noticed that my team was cheering for me, but at the same time, her team and the crowd was trying to cheer her up and put her back into the game somehow. And but that's why probably I didn't realize that game was going into my way only. And then I think the first point of the second set I lost, and there was some easy point, and everyone started to scream, and I was like, what's happening? Like, why everyone about it? And then after I finished, I realized that it was her first point to win, and it was just a surprise for me that everyone started to clap for her.
Well, it's even more impressive, I think, because you play an aggressive style. You take some risk out there on court. So, to not lose a point during an entire set is pretty remarkable. When you learned and when you realized you had not lost a point, what did you think about that? Is that something you think you can recreate ever again?
No, I still, like, every other time I watch the replay of this golden set, and still, like, not believing it's how it happened and how good it was. And hopefully one day I can replay it. One time I think I was so close to do it, but yeah, it's something amazing.
We're joined on TC Live by Slava Shvedova, who authored this golden set at Wimbledon 2012. We're looping the video of all 24 points that you won during that set. And I think to underscore how bizarre it was, we've seen the occasional golden set in tennis history at lower levels of the sport when maybe the opponents are of a lower level. This was Sara Errani, who'd made the French Open final like a couple of weeks before this happened. Were you surprised to get such little resistance from a player of Errani's caliber?
Yeah, like I was also at French Open, and I was hoping like to get the first round in quali to because past tournaments I couldn't win a round, and I was worried about getting into the London Olympics. And in the end, I qualified and I did the quarterfinals, and I was so lucky to get the wild card and not to go through qualification at Wimbledon. So everything was amazing. I won a few rounds, and in the third round I got Sarah, and I was just focusing on trying to get my best. And I know she was top 10, and she had great results in the past week as well. And I was shocked to do.
We're talking about this thing because we're doing this Jaw Droppers segment today, and it's a curiosity. But Slava, you've accomplished a lot in your career. 2 Grand Slam doubles titles. You've been top 25 in singles, top 3 in doubles. Is it a little annoying that people like us, when we talk to you, that this is the first thing that we bring up?
No, no, at all, because it's some kind of great achievement that I'm proud of in a way, and I'm happy that people still thinking about it and remembering it, and I'm always happy to share my feelings about it, and it's gonna be forever with me.
Well, Slava, we had Vanya King. Want to move on to doubles and your career and your doubles partner, Vanya. We had her on the show a few weeks ago, and she talked about her plans initially to play Indian Wells in Miami with you and then retire. Have you guys kind of talked? Have you looked at what you might do going forward? I know there's still a lot of uncertainty, but what are you thinking the plan might be going forward now?
Yes, I was excited to play a last tournament with Vanya, and excited for her career, and to stay with her on court for her last time in the professional tournament. But so now I hope tournaments will start soon, and we will have another chance, and maybe she will change her mind and keep on going for some more years.
So while we're doing this interview live, our control room is telling us that social media is blowing up with curiosity about the cat over your left shoulder. Would you please introduce us to this cat, and does it have a name?
No, I think I brought this cat from Japan one of the year. I think it's 2010, and it stays in my home. I like it, and I think it's Siam, and I just like it. I'm a cat person. I have a tattoo on my wrist in the memory of my cat that I had since I was 2 years old, and she was with me for 21 years, and. Yeah, so I'm a cat person, and I love cats around me.
Well, thanks for explaining. Now everybody who's been watching has their answer. And cool tattoo on the wrist, Slava. It's great to see you. Please stay safe. No more quarantines, and we look forward to seeing you back on the court when this thing is all over.
Thank you so much, and hope everyone stays safe and home and enjoy their lives how they can.
Slava Shvedova, our first ever TC Live shot from Kazakhstan.